Picture this. You're the man who does everything right. You're kind, thoughtful, and always put others first. You hold the door open, send good morning texts, and never forget a birthday. You're the guy who remembers the little things, like her favorite coffee order or the story she told you weeks ago. You're the one who listens without interrupting, who's always there when she needs someone to lean on. People tell you, "You're such a nice guy," or "You'll make someone really happy one day." And for a while, you believe it. You tell yourself that being kind, dependable, and thoughtful is what makes you stand out. You're proud of the way you treat people, and you should be. But here's the catch. Despite all your best efforts, it never seems to work out the way you hoped. Women thank you for your kindness, but don't stay. They choose someone else. Someone who doesn't seem to care as much, someone who doesn't put in half the effort you do, and you're left standing there, heartbroken and confused, asking yourself, why? What am I doing wrong? It's painful, isn't it? That sinking feeling in your chest, the frustration of giving so much and feeling like it's never enough, the quiet thoughts that creep in when you're alone, questioning your worth. Am I not good enough? Maybe I'm just too nice. But here's the truth, and it's not easy to hear at first. It's not because you're too nice. Women don't avoid you because they hate kindness. They avoid you because they sense something deeper, a lack of confidence, a lack of boundaries, a lack of purpose. You see, being nice isn't a problem. Kindness is a great quality. It's one of the most important traits you can have. But kindness alone isn't enough. In fact, kindness without strength, without authenticity, can come across as weakness. And weakness, no matter how well-meaning, isn't attractive. Here's where things get interesting. What if I told you the real issue isn't your kindness, but the energy behind it? When you're being nice, is it coming from a place of strength, or are you hoping for something in return? Are you being kind because it's who you are, or because you're afraid of rejection? This is where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics believed in mastering yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. They taught that true strength comes from within, not from the approval of others. And this is the shift you need to make. Instead of trying to win people over with niceness, you need to focus on building your internal strength. Because when you do, everything changes. Women aren't avoiding kindness, they're avoiding insecurity. They want someone who's kind because it's a reflection of their strength, not a substitute for it. They're drawn to men who know their value, who walk through life with purpose, and who don't seek validation because they already know their worth. And let me tell you, this isn't about playing games or pretending to be something you're not. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about balancing kindness with confidence, patience with purpose, and vulnerability with strength. So let me ask you, are you ready to stop seeking approval and start building the kind of self-respect that commands attention and respect? Are you ready to stop being the nice guy women avoid and start becoming the man they're drawn to? If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Strength through self-respect." Let's make that our mantra for this journey, a reminder that your worth doesn't come from someone else's opinion, it comes from within. Let's talk about something most men don't realize. Have you ever noticed how the men women seem to gravitate toward, the ones who capture their attention and keep it, don't spend their time chasing approval? They're not bending over backward to be liked. They're not constantly asking, "Am I good enough for you?" They're not trying to prove anything. So, what's the difference? The difference is confidence. These men walk through life with a quiet, unshakable belief in their own value. They don't need to shout it from the rooftops, and they certainly don't need anyone else to validate it. Confidence, true confidence, is magnetic. It's not about arrogance or showing off. It's about knowing who you are and being unapologetically yourself. Here's the hard truth. When you operate from a place of insecurity, even if you hide it behind niceness, people can sense it. It's in the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, and even in the way you react to rejection. But when you're confident, when you've mastered your emotions and truly value yourself, you radiate an energy that people are naturally drawn to. This is exactly what Stoicism teaches us. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. You can't control how someone feels about you. You can't force someone to be attracted to you, but you can control how you respond. You can control how you carry yourself. And most importantly, you can control how much power you give to someone else's opinion of you. Think about it. When you're overly focused on being liked, you're giving away your power. You're putting your self-worth in someone else's hands. And that's not only exhausting, it's unattractive. On the other hand, when you're grounded in your own value, when you walk through life with purpose and self-respect, people can't help but notice. Now let's address one of the biggest mistakes nice guys make. They confuse approval with connection. They think that the more they please someone, the more they'll be liked. But here's the paradox. The more you chase approval, the less respect you gain. Women, like anyone, are drawn to people who know their value, not those who constantly seek it from others. This brings us to the importance of boundaries. Boundaries are one of the most powerful ways to show self-respect. Yet, nice guys often struggle with them. They say yes when they really want to say no. They bend over backward to accommodate others, even when it means sacrificing their own needs. But here's the truth. Boundaries don't push people away. They create respect. When you set boundaries, you're saying, I value myself, and I won't allow anyone to treat me as less than I deserve. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about showing that you have a backbone, and nothing is more attractive than a man who respects himself enough to stand his ground. So here's your challenge. Start setting boundaries, even in small ways. Practice saying no when something doesn't align with your values. Stand firm in your beliefs, even if it makes you uncomfortable. And most importantly, stop apologizing for being true to yourself. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Boundaries build respect." Let's make this a reminder that self-respect is the foundation of attraction. Let's get something straight. Kindness is not the problem. In fact, kindness is one of the most powerful tools you can have. But here's the catch. Kindness without emotional depth can feel hollow. Women aren't just looking for a nice guy. They're looking for someone they can connect with on a deeper level, someone who understands them, challenges them, and makes them feel alive. So, what does it mean to have emotional depth? It's about more than just being available or agreeable. It's about showing that you have layers, that there's more to you than what meets the eye. It's about having passions, convictions, and even struggles that you're not afraid to own. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly shared something about yourself with someone? Not just the surface-level stuff, like your favorite movie or where you work, but the things that matter, the things that make you who you are, the lessons you've learned, the battles you've fought, the dreams you're chasing. This is where so many nice guys miss the mark. They focus so much on being pleasant and agreeable that they forget to show their real selves. But here's the truth. Connection isn't built on niceness. It's built on vulnerability and authenticity. Now let's be clear. Vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or spilling your emotions all over the place. It means being real. It means having the courage to say, "This is who I am, flaws and all," without fear of rejection. Women don't want perfect. They want real. They want someone they can relate to, someone who's not afraid to show strength and vulnerability in equal measure. This is where Stoicism comes into play. The Stoics believed in embracing both strength and struggle. They taught that acknowledging your emotions and facing your challenges head-on is not weakness, it's strength. Emotional depth comes from knowing yourself, owning your story, and standing strong in who you are. And here's the twist. Showing vulnerability in the right way actually amplifies your strength. It shows that you're secure enough in yourself to be open. It's not about needing someone else to fix you. It's about showing that you're human and that you've grown through your experiences. Let me give you an example. Think about someone who's open about their struggles, but also shows how they've overcome them. That's powerful, isn't it? It's relatable, it's inspiring, and it's far more attractive than someone who only shows the polished, surface-level version of themselves. So, how do you develop emotional depth? Start by being honest with yourself. What are your values? What do you stand for? What have you been through, and how has it shaped you? These are the things that make you unique, the things that create real connection. And here's the key: share these parts of yourself naturally, without forcing it. Let them come out in your conversations, in your actions, in the way you carry yourself. Show that you're not just a nice guy. You're a man with depth, strength, and a story worth telling. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Depth over surface." Let's make that our reminder to go beyond the superficial and embrace what makes us real. Let's talk about something that's often misunderstood: independence. You've probably heard that women want a strong, independent man. But what does that actually mean? Does it mean being distant or emotionally unavailable? Not at all. Independence isn't about shutting people out. It's about having your own purpose, your own mission, and your own identity outside of a relationship. Here's the thing: no one wants to feel like they're someone else's entire world. At first, it might seem flattering to a woman when a man revolves his life around her, but over time, it starts to feel suffocating. Why? Because it signals that he doesn't have anything else going on, that he's relying on her to give his life meaning. And let's be honest, that's a lot of pressure for anyone to carry. True independence is about having a life that's already fulfilling. It's about pursuing your passions, chasing your goals, and living in alignment with your values, regardless of whether someone is in your life or not. This isn't selfishness, it's strength. It shows that you're capable of standing on your own 2 feet, and that you're not looking for someone to complete you. You're looking for someone to walk alongside you. Here's where Stoicism can guide us. The Stoics taught that your happiness should never depend on external things, whether it's wealth, status, or even relationships. They believed that true fulfillment comes from within, from living a life of purpose and integrity. When you embody this mindset, you become unshakable. You're not chasing anyone's approval because you already know your worth. Think about the most attractive people you've ever met. Chances are they weren't constantly trying to impress you or win you over. Instead, they were focused on their own goals, their own passions, and that's what made them so magnetic. Their independence wasn't just about what they did, it was about how they carried themselves. They had an energy that said, "I'm whole on my own, but I'd love to share my journey with you." Here's the paradox. The more you focus on your own growth, the more attractive you become. When you're living a life of purpose, you naturally draw people in, not because you're trying to, but because people are drawn to those who have direction and confidence. But let's be clear, independence doesn't mean shutting people out or refusing to let someone in. It's about balance. It's about being able to give to a relationship without losing yourself in the process. It's about showing that you can be a strong, supportive partner while still being your own person. So, how do you cultivate independence? Start by identifying what lights you up. What are your passions? What are your goals? What kind of life do you want to build for yourself? Then, start taking action toward those things, even in small ways. Every step you take toward your own purpose strengthens your sense of self, and that's something no one can take away from you. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Purpose over approval." Let's make that our reminder to prioritize living a life of meaning and integrity. Let's talk about leadership. Not the kind you see in movies or hear about in corporate settings, but the kind that defines who you are as a person. Leadership isn't about controlling others or being the loudest voice in the room. It's about taking charge of your own life and inspiring others by the way you live. Here's a powerful truth. Women are drawn to leaders. And no, that doesn't mean you need to dominate or boss people around. True leadership is about embodying strength, confidence, and vision. It's about having a clear sense of direction, not just in relationships, but in every area of your life. Think about the most captivating people you've ever met. Chances are they had a presence about them. They weren't trying to impress anyone. They were simply living their truth, pursuing their goals, and inviting others to be part of their journey. That's leadership. It's the ability to stand tall in who you are while inspiring others to rise with you. But here's where many nice guys struggle. They think being a leader means being dominant or controlling. In reality, it's the opposite. Great leaders don't seek to control, they seek to guide. They don't demand respect. They earn it by respecting themselves and others. This is where Stoicism becomes a game changer. The Stoics believed that you should lead your life with integrity, wisdom, and purpose. They taught that leadership starts with self-mastery, controlling your emotions, staying calm under pressure, and making decisions based on values rather than impulses. When you live this way, you naturally exude an air of confidence and reliability that people are drawn to. Let's break it down. What does leadership look like in your life? It's about being decisive, taking responsibility for your actions, and pursuing your goals without hesitation. It's about setting the tone in your relationships, not through force, but through clarity and vision. It's saying, "This is the life I'm building, and I'd love for you to be part of it." Women respect and admire men who can lead, not because they need to be led, but because they want someone who has the strength and courage to step up. Leadership isn't about control, it's about collaboration. It's about creating a partnership where both people feel empowered to grow together. Now, how do you step into leadership? Start with small actions. Make decisions with confidence, even if they're uncomfortable. Take responsibility for your life, your choices, your growth, and your future. And most importantly, lead by example. Show the world what it looks like to live with integrity and purpose, and others will naturally follow. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Lead with strength." Let's make that our mantra, a reminder that true leadership isn't about power, it's about purpose. Let's talk about respect. At the end of the day, respect is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, whether it's romantic, professional, or personal. Without respect, there can be no trust, no connection, and certainly no attraction. But here's the kicker. Respect isn't given automatically. It's earned. For many nice guys, this is where things fall apart. They confuse kindness with respect. They think that by being accommodating, agreeable, and overly available, they'll earn someone's admiration. But the truth is, respect doesn't come from saying yes to everything. It comes from standing your ground, knowing your worth, and showing that you value yourself enough to demand the same in return. Here's a question to ask yourself. How much respect do you show yourself? Are you setting boundaries, prioritizing your values, and holding people accountable for how they treat you? Or are you constantly bending over backward to avoid conflict, afraid that standing up for yourself might push people away? This is where Stoicism provides a powerful lesson. The Stoics believed that self-respect is the cornerstone of a good life. They taught that if you don't respect yourself, you can't expect others to respect you either. Respect begins with how you treat yourself, your habits, your decisions, and the standards you set for your life. Think about it this way. When you respect yourself, you send a clear signal to the world. You're saying, "I know my value, and I won't settle for anything less." And that confidence, that clarity, is magnetic. People naturally gravitate toward those who know their worth and live by it unapologetically. But let's flip the script for a moment. Respect isn't just about how you demand to be treated, it's also about how you treat others. True respect means valuing someone's time, listening to their opinions, and being honest and direct, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about holding yourself to the same high standards you expect from others. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Many men fear that being too firm or setting boundaries will push people away. But here's the truth. People may not always like it when you stand your ground, but they'll respect you for it. And in the long run, respect is far more valuable than fleeting approval. So how do you cultivate respect? Start by examining how you show up in your life. Are your actions aligned with your values? Are you treating yourself with the same care and consideration you give to others? And are you surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, or with those who drain your energy? This isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up consistently as the best version of yourself. When you do that, respect will follow, both from others and, most importantly, from yourself. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Respect starts within." Let's make that our mantra, a reminder that the respect you give yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. Let's talk about a concept that's often misunderstood: vulnerability. For years, society has sent mixed messages about what it means to be vulnerable. Some say it's a sign of weakness, while others argue that it's the key to real connection. So, what's the truth? The truth is that vulnerability, when paired with strength, is one of the most powerful tools you can possess. Here's why. Vulnerability without strength can come across as desperation or insecurity. It's the kind of oversharing or emotional dependency that pushes people away. But strength without vulnerability can make you seem cold, distant, or unapproachable. The key is finding the balance, showing that you're strong enough to be open, yet secure enough to hold your ground. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you shared something meaningful about yourself? Not surface-level details like your favorite music or the last movie you watched, but something real, a struggle you've overcome, a lesson you've learned, a value you live by. When you're able to share these parts of yourself authentically, you're showing emotional depth. You're saying, "I trust myself enough to let you in." And here's the secret. That kind of openness doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. It builds trust and connection, and it shows that you're comfortable with who you are. Now, let's look at this through the lens of Stoicism. The Stoics didn't shy away from challenges or emotions. They embraced them. They believed that facing your struggles head-on and learning from them was a sign of true strength. They taught that vulnerability isn't about being consumed by your emotions. It's about acknowledging them, learning from them, and using them to grow. So how do you strike this balance? First, focus on your internal foundation. Strength comes from knowing who you are and standing firm in your values. Vulnerability comes from being comfortable enough in yourself to share your truth without fear of rejection. Together, they create a presence that's both grounded and approachable. For example, imagine having a conversation where you're open about a challenge you've faced, but you frame it as a story of growth. "This happened, it was hard, but here's what I learned from it." That's vulnerability with strength. It's not about seeking pity, it's about sharing a piece of yourself in a way that inspires respect and connection. And here's the beauty of this balance. It's rare. In a world where people often hide behind masks of perfection, confidence, or indifference, being real is refreshing. It sets you apart. It shows that you're not just a nice guy. You're a man who's in touch with himself and unafraid to let others see him fully. So, here's your challenge. Take a moment to reflect on your story. What have you been through? What have you learned? And how can you share that in a way that's both authentic and empowering? Start small. Practice being open with people you trust and watch how they respond. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Strength in vulnerability." Let's make that our mantra, a reminder that true power comes from balancing openness with inner strength. Let's talk about emotional independence, a quality that separates the men who command respect and admiration from those who constantly chase it. Emotional independence isn't about shutting people out or pretending you don't care. It's about being in control of your inner world, no matter what's happening in the external one. Here's the harsh truth. When your happiness, confidence, or sense of self-worth depends on someone else, you give away your power. Whether it's a partner, a friend, or even a stranger, relying on others to validate your worth puts you in a vulnerable position. Not the good kind of vulnerability, but the kind that leaves you feeling helpless when things don't go your way. Think about it. How often have you found yourself waiting for someone's approval or attention to feel good about yourself? How often have you changed your behavior, your plans, or even your opinions just to avoid rejection? That's emotional dependence, and it's a trap. Now, let's flip the script. Emotional independence is the ability to stand strong in who you are, regardless of how others treat you or what they think of you. It's knowing that your value doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. This isn't about arrogance, it's about self-respect. It's about saying, "I'm enough," whether you see it or not. The Stoics had a lot to say about this. They believed that true happiness comes from mastering your inner world, not from chasing external rewards. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Emotional independence is the embodiment of this philosophy. It's the ability to remain calm, confident, and grounded, even when the world around you feels chaotic. So how do you cultivate emotional independence? It starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to when and why you seek validation. Are you looking for someone to fill a void, or are you genuinely connecting with them? Next, focus on building a life that fulfills you. Pursue your passions, set goals, and surround yourself with people who inspire you. Here's a key mindset shift. Relationships are meant to enhance your life, not complete it. When you're emotionally independent, you're not looking for someone to fix you or make you happy. You're already whole, and you invite others to share in that wholeness. This shift not only makes you more attractive, but it also strengthens your connections, because you're no longer putting unfair expectations on the people in your life. Imagine walking into any relationship or situation with this energy. I'm here because I want to be, not because I need to be. That's the power of emotional independence. It frees you from the constant fear of rejection or loss, because you know you'll be okay, no matter what happens. So here's your challenge. Practice sitting with your emotions instead of seeking immediate reassurance. When you feel insecure or unsure, ask yourself, what can I do to take care of myself in this moment? Build the habit of being your own anchor, and you'll notice that people start seeing you in a whole new light. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "I am my foundation." Let's make that our mantra, a reminder that true strength comes from within, not from anyone else. Now let's talk about purpose. If there's one thing that can completely transform how you see yourself and how others see you, it's having a clear sense of purpose. Purpose gives your life meaning, direction, and focus. And when you're living with purpose, it creates an undeniable confidence that people can't help but notice. Here's why purpose is so powerful. It grounds you. When you know what you're working toward, you stop being swayed by every setback, rejection, or moment of doubt. Instead of reacting to life, you're leading it. And this sense of direction is magnetic. It shows the world that you're not just drifting aimlessly, you're building something meaningful. Let me ask you this. What's your mission? What's the thing that lights you up, that gives your life depth and excitement? If you don't have an answer right now, that's okay. Most people go through life without ever asking this question. But when you start to explore it, you tap into a well of energy and confidence that can't be faked. Here's the truth. When you lack purpose, you're more likely to cling to things that don't serve you. whether it's relationships, bad habits, or unhealthy mindsets. Without purpose, you might find yourself seeking validation or direction from others because you don't have your own. But when you're living with purpose, you stop chasing. You're no longer looking for someone to complete you because your life is already full. This is where Stoicism offers profound guidance. The Stoics believed that a life of purpose is a life of virtue, dedicated to growth, wisdom, and contributing to the world around you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." Purpose isn't just about lofty goals, it's about showing up every day as the best version of yourself. And here's the beautiful thing. Purpose doesn't have to be tied to one grand ambition. It can be as simple as striving to grow, to learn, to improve. It can be about building meaningful relationships, pursuing a craft, or making a positive impact on the people around you. Purpose isn't about perfection, it's about progress. So, how do you find your purpose? Start by asking yourself what excites you, what challenges make you want to rise, what values matter most to you. And here's the key, don't wait for the perfect answer. Purpose isn't something you discover overnight, it's something you build through action. Start exploring, trying, and creating. The more you engage with life, the clearer your purpose will become. And when you're living with purpose, you become unstoppable. Rejection doesn't faze you because your mission is bigger than any single moment. Approval becomes irrelevant because you're no longer defined by what others think. Instead, you're focused on your path, your goals, and your growth. Imagine carrying this energy into every interaction. I know who I am, I know what I'm working toward, and I'm excited about where I'm going. That's the power of purpose. It transforms you from someone who's chasing life to someone who's leading it. So, here's your challenge. Take a step today, no matter how small, toward discovering or building your purpose. Maybe it's journaling about your goals, taking a class, or reconnecting with something you love but left behind. Every step counts. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Purpose drives me." Let's make that our mantra, a reminder that a life lived with intention is a life of strength and fulfillment. Now it's time to bring everything together. Confidence, respect, independence, purpose. These aren't just isolated traits. They're interconnected, forming the foundation of a life that naturally draws people in. When you embody these qualities, you stop chasing connection, respect, and attraction. They start coming to you. Let's start with confidence. True confidence isn't about pretending you're perfect or having all the answers. It's about knowing who you are, accepting your flaws, and still showing up every day with your head held high. When you're confident, you don't need to prove your worth to anyone because you already know it. And that assurance, it's magnetic. Next comes respect. Respect starts with how you treat yourself. Are you setting boundaries? Are you holding yourself to your own standards? When you respect yourself, others will follow your lead. And when you respect others, by being honest, clear, and considerate, you build trust, which is the cornerstone of every meaningful relationship. Then there's independence. Emotional independence means you're not relying on others to fill a void or make you happy. You're whole on your own, and your relationships become about sharing that wholeness, not seeking completion. Independence isn't about pushing people away. It's about showing that you can stand on your own, which makes your presence in someone's life a choice, not a necessity. Finally, we have purpose. Purpose gives your life direction and meaning. It anchors you, so even when things go wrong, you're not derailed. When you live with purpose, you stop getting caught up in petty worries or chasing fleeting approval. You're focused on the bigger picture, on becoming the best version of yourself and leaving a positive impact on the world. Now, imagine combining all of these. You're confident but not arrogant. You respect yourself and others. You're independent, yet open to connection. And you're living with purpose, driven by something greater than yourself. That's the blueprint for genuine connection and attraction. Here's the best part. This blueprint isn't about changing who you are. It's about amplifying the best parts of you. It's about letting go of habits and mindsets that no longer serve you and stepping into the man you're meant to be. So, what's next? Start taking action. Confidence grows with every decision you make. Respect strengthens with every boundary you set. Independence flourishes as you build your own life, and purpose becomes clearer with every step you take toward growth and fulfillment. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up each day and choosing to grow, even when it's hard. Because every small step you take brings you closer to the life you want and the man you aspire to be. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below that says, "Strength and purpose guide